Hello and welcome to another episode of Ginger Force Apocalypse, the podcast. I'm Britt Rochelle.
And I'm Muffin.
And this is Oakley. He's actually looking face forward for once. Congratulations, buddy. He's like, I go nay-nay now? I go nay-nay now. And on today's episode, I have an article by Polygon that I didn't think fit in the news category because it's more like an op-ed. But I like looking at op-eds and letting it spark conversation or the yappening during the fappening. Whatever you want to call it. I kind of want to talk about some problems within gaming, shocker, and the headline of it would be, why are games so bad now? That's not to say there aren't good games, because there absolutely are, but there are some games that they receive so much high praise for their storytelling or this or that, and I'm just like, this sucks when I try to play it.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. We're gonna look at the article first. We'll kind of respond to that and then go from there. And of course, I don't have the right. Why would I have the right tab open? There we go. That's what it is. So this is by Ollie Welsh of Polygon, and this headline reads, "The Return of Video Game-Ass Video Games." And I'm hoping that this ends with, it's about damn time, because I have some opinions. I'll hold them off until after this. So, I, as in the author, am probably about to fall into a classic trap of culture journalism, misidentifying a random coincidence as a trend. But bear with me, because I really do think there's something to it. Honest. This week sees the release of Saros, Housemarque's new PlayStation 5 exclusive. Like its predecessor, Returnal, it's an action game defined by roguelike style run structure and by sinister horror vibes. In other words, it couldn't be more 2026 if it tried. And yet, Saros is also a sci-fi game in which a dude runs around shooting a laser gun. There's something timeless and comfortingly old school about it. It's even more true of the previous big release on PS5 and Xbox and everything else, which arrived 2 weeks ago, Capcom's Pragmata. Pragmata, despite a storyline involving an AI takeover, does not feel as influenced by current trends as Saros. Partly because it was developed over a long time, and partly because it recalls, intentionally I think, the risk-taking Capcom 5 era of the early 2000s. It has some original twists, but at its heart, it's a refreshingly straightforward evil robots and moon bases, dude shooting a laser gun game. Sci-fi shooter has been a cornerstone of video gaming throughout the entire life of the medium. You can argue that it is the originating genre of video games dating all the way back to 1962's Space War, but these games have been scarce recently, especially in the single-player realm. Halo, the great sci-fi shooter juggernaut of the 21st century, is a spent force. For now, at least. Can we infer anything from the sudden arrival of two relatively high-profile, big-budget, single-player sci-fi shooters on the scene? Well, yes, of course we can if we want to, but should we? Debatable. There's not much evidence that other publishers are about to jump on the bandwagon, although rumors of a Star Fox revival at Nintendo are interesting. Pragmata has sold well enough that Capcom is hinting it as a future as a franchise, but the jury's still out on Saros. But the juxtaposition of these two games, both handsome to look at, both exciting to play, does give us an opportunity to revel in a gaming aesthetic that was once ubiquitous to the point of boredom, and now has an almost rarefied authenticity. Saros has a very Sony cinematic sheen, but it also conjures swirling storms of plasma fire straight from the 2D bullet hell shmups, never heard that word but I like it, of yore. Shmups of yore. Housemarque is summoning the spirit of the hardest hardcore games. Titles like The Treasures Ikaruga, I probably said that very wrong, that are spoken of with reverence and fear by those who really know. Pragmata, with its lonely spaceman adopting an android child, has elements of 2010's Dad Core, but its hard futurism, gleaming surfaces, mechanical enemies, and intentionally repetitive save point structure aren't interested in any humanizing narrative or cinematic continuity. They acknowledge and celebrate the machine-like qualities of the video games. It's thrilling to be presented with two big, bold video games that aren't afraid to be video games, but actively and unapologetically seek to channel the rawest, oldest, most undiluted spirit of the form. Pew pew, pew, and indeed, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
And I'm glad I made this its own episode because I do. You got something to say, buddy? You want uppies? There we go. I like that. Yes, this ended precisely how I hoped it would end, with the idea that it's about damn time for video games to start feeling like video games again. Because I think I can't blame Life is Strange entirely, because it's not Life is Strange's fault. But I know a big part of promoting video games from, years and years ago has been how updated and awesome the graphics are. That could be attributed, in my opinion, as early as, the Nintendo 64 with Super Mario World. Because, gone are the days of 2D, 8-bit side-scrollers. Now you've got this open-ended world you can play in. It's spawned and inspired games like Conker's Bad Fur Day, and even Bubsy 3D, as terrible and awful as that execution was, that still tried to do what, those other games and games like it did. They just kind of failed horrifically and are trying to bring it back with Bubsy 4D coming out this month. But for a while, when I say I don't blame Life is Strange, I have to bring it up as an example because it's one of the most popular, I think the genre is called Telltale games, in which a game is basically a story you play through. I know, Muff, you don't like Life is Strange or games like it, do you? No. Why don't you like it? I don't want to monopolize this conversation because then it wouldn't be a conversation.
It's not a bad game. It's just I don't like the whole, I guess, way that the story is played.
Right, okay.
So I'm not big on I can't think of what it's actually called. I'm not a fan of story games, really.
Yeah, makes sense.
I can play games that have a campaign or something like that, but if I have to go through and follow a dialogue that's 7 paragraphs long, then have to go find a person that's way the hell over there on the other side of the entire game just to get another piece of the story, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I get that. I know you liked, you've got the gun behind you, but Destiny, you even admitted, made you cry because you can tell a good story in a video game without it being overwrought or lame. That's what I think. I really liked Life is Strange. I love a good story. I don't even mind something that would be considered something like a walking simulator, because when you play Life is Strange, you're playing as Max Caulfield. She runs around doing her mind-bending powers. There is a bit of a mystery with the disappearance of popular pretty student Rachel Amber, and even themes of reconnection as she connects with her old friend Chloe, who she kind of lost touch with after she moved. And I'm a sucker for all of those types of themes. I love a good mystery. I like, themes regarding humanity and how we interact with each other. But there was still enough drama and intrigue, and even her having time powers just kind of sold it for me. There was a supernatural element. There's something outside of what we currently experience as real life humans, which makes the story even better and more fun. Especially as the whole I've always, ever since I played Epic Mickey for the Wii, I like games where your decisions throughout the game influence the ending. And I'll admit, the Epic Mickey is the baby game version of that. It's very straightforward. If you use primarily paint throughout the game, you build things back up, you're creating, and you get way more good endings, especially if you do the side quests. If you do mostly thinner and you destroy everything, and this particularly pertains to boss battles, if you just destroy them with the thinner, then you'll get more negative endings. And if you don't do the side quests, you get, really depressing parts because the ending's just kind of like a montage of the consequences of your actions. I think I mentioned this before, but one of the side quests is getting Horace's detective agency back up and running. And so if you just totally ignore that side quest and don't finish it, you get a sad little clip of his head hanging low, him putting a closed sign up and walking away. And then it's like, why didn't I do his side quest? I'm sorry. But obviously in the Life is Strange one, there's a lot more dire consequences. So I tried to play Lost Records Bloom and Rage, which is a popular one that I think it's in the same style of Life is Strange and may even be by the same studio if I'm remembering correctly. But I tried to play that one. And I tried to get into the story. I heard really good reviews about it. It's trying to set up some drama and intrigue, I think. And it got really good reviews. People are really excited about the second tape to come out, because the first part of the game's called Tape 1, much like with Life is Strange, it was in episodes. But I will tell you, I was so bored trying to play that game, I deadass about fell asleep at the keyboard. Yeah. Like, I don't think they set up the drama or the mystery well enough for me to care about it. Like, they set up with like this ominous, you're in a car and it's raining and you're like on your way to reconnect with old high school friends. And then it flashes back to when you were in high school before you met these friends, and you're just kind of like a loner who records really inane things on a video camera. And literally the point I was at that I stopped the stream, and haven't cared to pick it back up. I think we're looking for a set of keys in a playground when it's nighttime. Mind you, there are no stakes. We've just met these friends, and nothing they even discussed was even memorable enough for me to harken back to and think, oh wow, this is interesting, what's going to happen here? I'm over here like nodding off going, wait, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
And circling back to my point of, updated graphics becoming really important to, gameplay, it becomes more about status than the game itself. Like, honestly, it's really good that GTA 5 is as good of a game as it is, because a big part of GTA 5 is the amazing graphics. And a lot of it plays like a movie. There's even a camera mode that is just cinematic that makes it look more like you're watching a movie as you're watching a cutscene or driving your car or what have you. And yeah, GTA 5 is a good game. It's a fantastic game. I'm not going to say anything bad about GTA 5 at this moment. But there is concern, to me at least, for caring more about style than substance, where you can have this really pretty game, but you could just be like watching a movie. Why wasn't this a movie is kind of my feeling about, and that's where I guess I should just compare the two accurately. I like GTA 5, it has fantastic graphics, but it's also just a good game. There's action, there's consequences. You have to be, smart and quick on your feet. With Lost Records Bloom and Rage, I feel like, why wasn't this a movie? Why wasn't this an Amazon miniseries? Why is this a video game? I feel like I'm just trying to get characters from A to B. There's no skill involved. Like, sure, I wasn't skilled enough to find the keys in the park at night. Ooh. You know what I mean?
How dare.
Exactly. There's not... You have to think quick, or say a game like GTA 5 where if you don't play it right, if you don't hide at the right time, or you get shot too many times, you're just gonna die. You have to restart the mission. Sometimes all over. Sometimes there's like a whole, like checkpoint you may get to, which is I'm grateful for, but that wasn't a thing in older games. Like, maybe something else I thought was interesting that even GTA 5 has, I would argue to its detriment. If I get stuck, and I use this as an example a lot lately, if I get stuck on a mission playing Duke Nukem, I'm stuck on that mission and I'm SOL. And to the point, like to an extreme point where in the example of Duke Nukem, if I get stuck on that mission and I die, well, that sucks to be you. Guess you get to start the game all over again. Because you gotta get good, Scrub Lord. Whereas if you get stuck on a mission in GTA 5, it will, in some cases, just present you the option to skip it.
Yes and no. Yeah. Because you can skip it in Grand Theft Auto, but you ultimately still have to go back and finish it.
Mm-hmm.
You could delay having to play it, but by the end of it, you still 100% have to do that mission.
I don't know, I'll have to double check, because maybe it was a side mission, maybe that's why it let me, but I tested it just to see what would happen. I was like, it said, would you like to skip this mission? And I was like, I mean, I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I'm going to lose brownie points if I do. But I want to see what the consequences are if I do skip it. So I skipped the mission, and it literally just jumped me to the end as if I had assassinated the guy. It was I had to assassinate somebody.
I'm fairly certain that would have been more of a side mission. Because all the main missions, they're not skippable.
No, that makes sense. But from a side mission perspective, why wouldn't you, if you're going to skip the mission, why would it reward you as if you successfully assassinated the guy by letting you move forward? Why wouldn't you just get an angry phone call from your boss going, "You fucking pussy, why couldn't you get through? You couldn't go through with it?" Da, da, da. Like, why would just be like, "Yeah, you just assassinated him. Don't worry about it. Good job." You know?
Yeah.
Especially I saw in what was it? I saw a clip online. Someone playing GTA Online went to Mike's house and started he had a rocket launcher and he started throwing rockets at his house. And so he gets a call from Mike, an angry call from Mike, screaming, "Stop throwing rockets at my fucking house!" So there's clearly that the technology is not only available, it is present in the game. So why wouldn't they just include that for the story missions instead of making... Again, it rewards you for doing nothing, and again, that doesn't make me feel accomplished. And the point of video games is not to, give you attaboys. Video games are supposed to not only entertain, but challenge you. It's kind of the point of a game.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, my problem with a lot of the state of gaming nowadays is a lot of... We've done an episode before on, what constitutes a game. I don't think... even things like a dating simulator, that's not a game. I think... No. I've been playing Date Everything, and I think they try a little more to make it into a game. There are parts that feel game-like. For example, when you talk to Dishy, the dishwasher... I didn't even want to go through this because I was trying to go a certain route, but I did a misclick and turned Dishy online. He's a Valdivian product, which is like an Amazon type company that's trying to automate everything and doing like a whole AI takeover and all that. And when you turn Dishy online, he starts offering all these updates. And if you don't perform the updates, he gets kind of uppity with you. But even worse so, I tried to turn off the online features on him, and it turned into an entire, boss battle. Where through the text options, you have to fight the dishwasher. And my stats were not high enough. And the way you get higher stats in your game is as you traverse your house and create relationships with these datables, your points in certain personality aspects go up. And I guess they just stay stagnant if they hate you. I think that's how it works. I'd have to look into it more. But my point being, that part actually felt like a game. Because I was presented with a challenge. I did not meet the qualifications to win this challenge, and so I actually died, and it took me back to the main menu. And there's an autosave feature, so when I went back into the game, the dishwasher basically just act like nothing happened, except for I was assigned a new name. I now am Brittany89 in the game because they assigned me a new identity because, again, I lost against the dishwasher overlord, I guess.
Imagine dying. Crazy.
You got it, Cinnaholic. I got you. You wanted the doggy on camera. But, and there, again, when I say it tries to be a game, it really does. There's, like, even a plot with you losing your job. Or, like, you're, like, in job limbo because they're trying to phase out your customer service job with an AI counterpart. And so you're not fired, but you're not really given anything to do. So you're basically in job limbo. You heard a barking spider? No! It was probably Oakley. Anyways, but the, my point being is dating simulator, a lot of things that are called games are not games. I do not think they should be classified as games. Even popular games like what? Oh God, what's a good? I'm thinking of like Farmville, like the Facebook era of gaming that like moms and grandmas still play. I'm like, is that really a game? Maybe. Like that, there are more inherent challenges in Farmville, I think, than in most dating simulators.
Maybe?
I don't know. I haven't played a farming game in a very, very long time. So, couldn't tell ya.
I can't tell you the last time I played a farming game either.
Okay.
Unless you want to consider Minecraft.
I mean, that's got other stuff going on in it, though. Like, you can't... Farming's my favorite part of Minecraft, because I'm a enormous dork. But you do fight mobs in that game. There is the challenge of going underground and, you know, mining the materials to create things in your house. Then you've got things that are... I remember one of my friends talking about how they like cozy games, where you just sit there and decorate things. And it...
Yeah, that's just boring.
Yeah, it reminds me of games I used to play when I was a kid before I discovered actual video games. Like those dress-up doll video games on the PC. When it's literally a virtual paper doll where you've got like... Then you just put different clothes on her. I would argue, not a game. That's playing dress-up. That's just a new medium for, you know, old school paper dolls. I used to have a paper doll. I love paper dolls. Not a game. So this advent of games that feel like games, I like that they're bringing those back. That's all about. I got on that. What do you think? Oh, sorry, but Oakley wanted to lay down for a minute. I'll keep him up until the stream's over. He'll be okay.
Put that on!
But the people, they want to see the Oakley!
I'm about to ruin it for you. That dog is not old enough to consent to be on camera.
Oakley is a puppy dog who...
Yeah, puppy, which means minor.
He is almost a year and a half old.
Oh! Confirmed. The dog is a minor. The dog cannot consent to being on camera. Get that dog off the camera.
Man, what if I told you they want your cat on camera, too?
Larry is old enough.
Because I don't have any cats anymore, unfortunately. Carl ran away. His grungy butt found a new home.
Aw, poor Carl.
Believe me, he's okay. But that being said, I want to know what your favorite modern games are that actually feel like video games. Don't give me no dating sim. Don't give me no, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Mugenics. I haven't played that one yet. God, I want to play Mugenics so bad. Remember we talked about that one?
I don't remember, but I believe you that we talked
about it before. Okay, I'll probably have to get a copy of Mugenics. But I want you to let 60 hours. Holy cow! I want to let you know how you think the gaming industry has changed. If it's going back to the good old days like it should, or if you think Telltale games are like the best genre ever and we're just wrong. Let us know on all of our socials. I hope you'll hit us up. All our stuff can be found at linktree/GFAP Entertainment. We do have a store as well if you want to wrap us with some merch. Oh, Binding of Isaac. Yeah, okay, that's a good game. There you go. Okay, they're getting some good...
Binding of Isaac is a
very good game. And if you like seeing these streams live, don't forget that I stream our podcast recordings every Wednesday at 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern Standard. And later on in the evening around 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, Muffin and I do some co-op gaming together. So come see us for that. Give us both a follow. Oh yeah, BurtShell.com, BurtShell.card.co. I have a lot of stuff going on.
At Linktree Muffin Sincere here, you can find everything. So just pop on in, follow us all, rep it.
Rep it indeed. And until next time, thank you so much for watching and or listening to Ginger Force Apocalypse, the podcast. Keep fapping, folks.